Just because I'm telling you this story doesn't mean I'm alive at the end of it. It's that kind of a story.
Hi, I'm Angie, and welcome to part 3 of I Found Everything in His Silence. I had already made this one, but I felt it wasn't quite right. So, where to begin? If I tell you that the sky is blue, you don't really know what I mean by that until you go out and you look at a blue sky. If I tell you it is cloudy outside today, once again, you're not going to really understand those words without experiencing those words, feeling what those words mean. So if you go outside and you experience that the sky is blue, and you experience that it's cloudy, and then I tell you, when I say the sky is blue, you're going to feel an energy. You're going to feel the sky is blue. It's a pretty day. It's beautiful. It's, skip and play. You know what I mean? When I tell you it's a cloudy day, you're going to feel more mellow. You're going to feel a darkness, calmness. It's cloudy. See what I'm saying? So we cannot truly understand words by just hearing them. We have to feel them. So, which is what us in this experience at this, the leads in this, we have been taught this, haven't we? We have been taught what feel is. An example, they would tell you that it's just not the right time. So, we can't be together. I'm going to go be with them. And this will all happen after some magical time, right? And it's totally like an insanity feel to it when it comes up, right? So you're sitting there and you're like, what the hell does that mean? It's not the right time. What the hell, right? So we're left in the silence, no communication. We're left to feel this. So we sit in it, and we sit in it, and we sit in it, and we sit in it. And eventually, through this process, we begin to understand those words because we feel them, right? We understand, we feel it. We feel everything now, don't we? Because we were forced to be cut off of communication. Communication, words, did not work. We had to feel it. And the feminine is all about communication, right? We understand through communication. But we had to understand by feel. So that's where we are in this. To me, for me, is words are not getting it. They're not understanding my words. It's time to be silent and let them fill. Okay. And this is to be done in different ways besides just the way that we were shown. We cannot just totally cut off because we are leads in this. Now, let me stop there and go into explaining this part. I've explained the difference between that we're stepping into the next step and the difference between twin flame relationship versus union. And I feel that is what this is the next step in the process. is what we're going into, or what I'm going into. I also see that the timing feels out of place. Usually, many people are with me where I am. We're all right about the same time. A majority of us that listen to my channel. And it doesn't seem like everybody's going through the steps that I'm going through, like at the same time. But the steps doesn't seem correct for me as well. It doesn't feel like it is the time for him to be back. It doesn't feel like it's a time for connection. Normally when I come back into physical union with him, it's to trigger in the next lesson in the process. For the ones that haven't, also other people will come in to trigger you in if you are in separation and they're not ready to come in to be triggered. You'll learn that as well. So for me, this time he's coming in and I should be going into triggers, but it's not triggering me. This time it is not triggering me. It's more like I'm just seeing, I'm like, okay. It's like it's triggering him. It's like him coming back into this process is to trigger him, not me. It's really odd. And that's what's happening. So it just seems, maybe, I don't know. I haven't figured out I don't know. It just, for me, going into this next step of the process is not because, to me, this is going to bring us together, or this is, bringing him with me, or this is what I need to do to be together. It's not like that. It's more like this is what I need to do to bring me to the next step and him to the next step. His next step will not be where my next step is, but he's still stepping, behind me, but he's still stepping forward. Okay, y'all understand that? Like, to me, I am not in connection. We are not in physical union. It is not where it needs to be, and I'm not so concerned with it. I'm concerned with moving ahead in the process for what I need to do in this whole process to bring us on our mission. You know what I mean? On my mission. Doing my purpose, my mission. This is bringing me through the process for this. This is my understanding of this. Okay? So, what's next? The next step to me, is, in a way, taking control of the situation in a sexual formation. Let me explain this. And once again, this is for me and where I am in my situation. I don't know, if because I know many of you are stepping into such surrender that you're stepping in with other people. I feel that coming from myself as well. Such a confusing point in this. So I'm not telling you to go have sex with we'll use the label twin flame, okay? I'm just explaining what part of this process is for me. And I do feel that we will all be stepping into our sexuality with someone, okay, in a formation, because in this step is coming into your true feminine and shedding things that need to be shed within yourself. Okay. So, to me, in my situation, we both was all about being control freaks. And that has shed some for me. I don't feel that I have to stay in control, even sexually, anymore to be secure in myself, which is amazing. But I still have control in me. But he does. Holding on to that control is safety. Okay? And letting go of that control is vulnerability. And we all know in this sort of union, it's very intense, and it's even more hard to let go of and go into a vulnerable place because it's even more scary. So he's holding on to his control in a sexual formation because that's what he's always been able to do and use to connect with me safer. Okay? To be able to go in and feel me in a safe place for him was to go into sexuality in a controlled way. Me as well. Then I've changed. It's kind of, I'll explain. Okay. So to me, to be able to bring him into letting that down, opening up to feeling deeper, I need to do that in a sexual way. In this, in going in and being secure enough in myself to take control of the situation to begin with, I have to let any thoughts of judgment about myself go away. A lot of times, especially with this person in this union, we even more judge ourselves. I would feel more uncomfortable being naked in front of him versus someone that I didn't care so much about because what he thinks means so much more to me. Does that make sense? So to get into this divine feminine energy of sexual control takes a lot of letting go of things that we judgment for ourselves, feeling not secure enough in ourselves, feeling not pretty enough, feeling not secure in this process, feeling secure in what action we're taking, secure in controlling them and going there. Tons of things go down, walls shedding, just by stepping into that place. You see that? Also, we're going to have to take control of that, and we're going to be in an energy fill. They're going to fill us. They're going to fill our energy. And we are going to have to totally let go of and go into that place of love. Many of us, even me now, is scared to let that wall down all the way and totally love them. Because if we do, you're just waiting for the next, I'm not ready. I don't want you. I want her. The next trigger. We're scared to death of the next trigger because we have been triggered, trauma to death in this process. So to truly let that down and go into that God love with them is scary. Now, I've come to the level to where I can go into and I can totally love and understand love for others. I see through you. I see why you are the way you are, and I'm able to love you even though no matter what you are at this stage. No matter what you are in your false self, I see through that. I see your true self. I love you no matter what. I love my twin in that same way as well, no matter what, but I'm still scared to love them. Let myself love them because they can hurt me. They are the one that triggers me and hurts me. So I'm scared to trust all the way that I can love them, but in this understanding of this God love, way of loving, I can let that guard down. It's just scary to totally embrace that I'm at this part of the process, okay? But in doing this and taking this next step in vulnerability sexually, I have to, and in letting them feel this correctly, I have to let that wall down as well. And step into that total place of love. Because they're going to feel that. Do you see that? Do you see how all the things that are being shed, layers that are being shed for me in this step in the process, and why it's important, and how that's going to shed the layers of sexuality, big ones, start of that process that we're going into. Do you see that? Now, for them, They are letting go of control. They are going into fill. They are going into filling us. They are going into that vulnerable place of love. They are feeling this, experiencing this, and knowing this through us without even being aware exactly of what's happening. They are just feeling it. Get that? Okay? To me, going to that place and doing it in that way is our first step of shedding this sexual layers that open up so much more of us for both people. And this, it is bringing us the next step in the process. Is it bringing them with me? Yes, because they are taking the next step as well as me. But I know it is not bringing them to the place of total union at this time. I know it's just a step in that, which is the union. Step in the process. That is the union we are in, is bringing us, each other into the next step of the process. And that's the next step of this process. Get it? The next video, I'm going to go more in depth in how I plan on doing it in a sexual formation. Now, this is only for me. This is dealing with someone that's very controlling and needs to let go of that control. So I don't know if you all will be interested in this or not, but it's just explaining more of how to do that. And like I said, you might be going into this experience with someone else other than your twin flame. Because a lot of times someone else will step in to bring us into the next step in this process. Like I had a higher soul come in and show me it was okay to love myself. You know what I mean? Because the twin flame was going through what they were going through. You know what I mean? Different people come in to help us step to the next part of the process. For me, it just happens to be the twin flame bringing me into the next step of the process. Doing many different sessions. I'm hoping to, at the beginning, the day after Christmas would be wonderful. I'm leaving this house and going to another house that is only $1,000 for the month, but I feel it's what I need to do to go into this emotional detox. I'll explain more later, but I've never been in a place to where I didn't have to take care of everyone ever in my whole entire life. So I feel like I need to go to this place. I will still work and have contact with my children, but that's it. So what I'm saying is, if you've ever thought you needed to get a session with me, now would be great so I can do this. Because even though my things are growing and I'm trusting in this process and trusting the YouTube's growing, the books coming along, so on, that I'm going into this process right now is still, money is not where it needs to be whatsoever. You would think more people would get sessions, but they don't, and I'm very thankful for the ones that do. Just saying that if you feel this need to have a session with me, it would be nice if you booked it now. Talk to y'all soon, and all my links will be below.